if this guy showed up in Yu-Gi-Oh, everyone in that show would be like, whoa. That's how crazy his hair is. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of this. Today,
it is hard to fit into a marketable name, isn't it?
Yeah, Ree here is going to be so kind as to put together a presentation for me so I can, fully understand what's going on with Final Fantasy X. Is it now? Where does this fall on your favorites of Final Fantasy?
Well, I've only actually played 10 and 7, but I do prefer 10 over 7, has to be said. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I adore this game, so I can't wait to see you destroy it. I mean, accurately tell me the story of it. Accurately
talk about it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to introduce ourselves to the characters first. I'll give you the names of them. So first here we have Tidus. Some people say Tidus, but I get a Tidus vibe. What sort of impressions do you get of Tidus here?
So he's on the cover. I'm guessing he's the protagonist. He looks like the cocky California surfer kind of vibes. I think he's probably going to be in for a lot more than he can handle, even though he thinks he can, kind of a thing.
Okay.
I think he's biting off more than he can chew.
And next to him we have Yuna. What do you think about Yuna?
Yuna seems like pretty classic JRPG best friend who's like trying to keep this guy grounded, like, just like stop for a second and like, care about the people and the things around you,
Mm-hmm. Okay. He does look like a Naruto character, doesn't he?
He looks like he's got like the whole the collar above half his face thing going on, like Akatsuki does. So I'm gonna go and say he's the villain. I think he's the main
villain.
Guy. Yeah.
Okay, you get bad guy.
He's got the dark glasses. I mean, his collar's covering half his face. He's got all the buckles. I played Kingdom Hearts, so those buckles are bad news. Oh boy.
So here we have in the top left corner we have Waka.
Waka
or Waka. I don't know, whatever your accent feels like.
He seems like he's a racist. I think he's a racist man.
He's a racist. I want to know what about him screams racist.
Something about the way he's like. I think he's looking at some different group of people from another part of the world right now, and he's like, oh, I don't like what you guys are bringing to the table as a whole unit.
Is that sort of like get back to where you came from stuff?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting from him. This guy is somebody, like, I don't want to generalize too much, but like, I mean, I'm from South Carolina. Like, I think I've seen this guy before out on the highway.
You see him walking down the street a lot. Yeah. You see a lot of whackers in your part of the woods.
I've seen more than one whacker in my day.
Who do you think he's racist against, out of interest? Is there anyone?
I don't think it's a racial thing. I think it's gonna be like some type of magical creature or something.
Okay. Well, next to him we have Lulu. What do you think about Lulu?
I know that's a Moogle down there, who I do love those guys. She strikes me as sort of like the badass girl who's like doing all the ninja kick flips and stuff. Like,
okay.
I've played Final Fantasy 15, and so like Aranea was sort of that for that game. And for this one, I think she's like, super good at like fighting, and I don't know, maybe she does some punches and magic or something, but I think she's really good at. I think she's just like always like, comes in to save the day, and it's like, just like very haughty about it. And
then bottom left we've got Kamari.
I think that's Beast from the X-Men.
And then next to Kamari, we've got Riku, but not the Kingdom Hearts Riku.
Yeah, I was about to say.
This one has 2 Ks, just so you can differentiate them.
It's new.
Yeah.
This one, the goggles make me think this is the character from every JRPG who is the mechanic and like making the gear upgrades.
Oh yeah. She has that
is
role.
Absurdly young to be doing so, like every single time.
She's like the Tails of the
game.
Yeah,
she is the Miles Tails Prower of this group.
So here we have Seymour.
Yeah, that's a Kingdom Hearts friend right there.
That is.
The hair.
That is very Kingdom Hearts.
What's his name? Sorry.
Seymour.
Seymour.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a Seymour,
does he? Look like a Seymour. I mean, like, he obviously looks like a bad guy. I mean, I don't think I need to say that. I think it's pretty evident.
You're locking in bad guy.
I'm locking in bad guy for him, for sure. I don't know if he's like.
I wonder what gave it away.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like. I don't think he's the big bad guy. He seems like too obvious to be the big bad guy. I think maybe he's like the villain that you fight more often, but like the guy who's controlling the puppet strings is somebody else, I think.
Oh,
That's what I'm thinking. It could be the guy with the glasses from earlier.
Okay. Oh yeah, that was Oren. That was it. Yeah, Oren. And here finally we have Jecht, or Sir Jecht as some people call him.
Okay, I think he's part of the party. I think maybe he's your tank for your party.
Okay.
And I think he's like he said sir, so I guess he's a knight. Doesn't need armor because his abs are as thick as steel. Are they gonna kiss? No, don't tell me.
Okay, so this is our first shot of the game.
Oh, okay. It's a little blurry.
It is, yeah.
So is this from? So what system was this on?
This was originally on PlayStation 2.
Really? They got all the way from 7 to 10 on just PlayStation 2?
I know.
And then it took 7 years to come out?
I know.
Okay.
So we've got, as you can see, we've got some characters here. I can help point out some because this isn't the best screenshot.
I see our main guy over there to the left a little bit. What was his name?
Yeah.
Tidus?
Tidus, whatever you want.
Yeah. I see the boob girl over there on the right who does all the kicking. I don't see her Moogle anywhere. They're having a discussion with some magnitude. They're deciding something that's gonna have a big impact. I think this is a frame for the story. You know, it starts like later on, and then the rest of the game takes place in the past to how we got here, kind of a thing.
Okay. Well, let's see what comes next. Yep, okay, so this is the next frame. I will tell you that, just so this makes a little bit of sense, that what you were right about that was the future, and now this is the flashback, so sure. I'll just give you that. I won't say anything else.
Alright, so he's about to go into the Hunger Games. Looks like some sort of ball. Is it a sports ball for some sort of future sport?
It could be, and there's also there's people watching.
Yeah, it seems like it's a stadium, but it seems like it's a very narrow stadium.
Very unique stadium. Not big on the health and safety.
You know, I just watched the live action Battle Angel Alita movie the other day, and they had a game with a sports ball like that.
Oh, that one, yeah.
And there was it's like a narrow track, and they race around on skates, and they just destroy each other while going in a circle.
Yeah.
So it might be that game. Okay, is that foam? It looks like someone might be having a foam party.
Pretty big foam party.
Yeah, it's very big. And now there was this thing a long time ago, like 6 or 7 years ago, where in San Francisco, I think a factory exploded, and I
remember that. Yeah.
The foam consumed half of the city, and I think that's sort of what's happening here. It all begins. Okay, this is the guy who I said was evil at the beginning. I think. Yeah, he's saying some evil. No one. It all begins here has never been a good thing to say.
Particularly, I mean, there's a lot of red behind him as well.
Yeah, I'm getting some bad imagery here. So I think he's starting his evil plan, whatever it is. Wait, you're not an Al Bhed hater, are you? Okay, hold on. So I'm trying to. Is this character Riku? It doesn't look like her.
That is Riku. That is indeed Riku, yeah.
Okay, so I am definitely feeling that this is Al Bhed is the name of the sport, and it's like a roller derby kind of a sport, but with a ball. And that's like the equipment people wear for it. You got like a paddle on your arms for something? Yeah, for sure. This is a sports thing. Did he fall asleep for 1,000 years? No. Maybe. That does happen in JRPGs.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is Square on about anything's on the table here.
Maybe Blitz is the name of the game then, and Al Bhed is one of the players from earlier.
Okay.
I'm feeling, I'm 90, actually in real life, I'm 99% sure there is a big sport involved. A major Blitz tournament's coming up, all the teams in Spira will be there. Okay. Now, I'm trying to figure out if Tidus is relaxing here or if he has died. He's like, hey, the tournament's tomorrow or whatever, you know? Like,
I love that accent you've gone for.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Actually, that was probably not the right accent for him, but I'm going to stick to it now.
Yeah, you got to be confident with your picks here.
Wow, he looks a lot squatter than I thought he was. Summoners go on a pilgrimage to pray at every temple in... Oh, cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So it seems like he might be religious, which might go hand in hand with my earlier theory. I'm going to say that he is one, and he's like, hey, you know, follow me. I can teach you how to do the stuff.
I am not going to get tired of that voice.
I've done it. I've become a summoner. Okay, so we're learning to become summoners. She is the best friend girl from the beginning. What was her name?
I can't. Should I tell you? It was
Nope, I've forgotten it, so I will assign her one. I'm gonna call her Beaker.
Sorry, say that again.
Beaker, like
Beaker.
the Muppet. Yeah.
Okay, Beaker.
Yeah. I've done it. I've become a summoner. Okay, so I guess Tidus and Beaker here are like, let's become summoners, and you know, Waka's helping them out, and there's some trial or some sort of test you have to pass, or certification or something, or you know, and she's done it, and I'm wondering if she did it like very quickly, and she's just very much more skilled, and like your protagonist is like, you know, like, oh man, I'm not a summoner yet,
Yeah.
or like, you know, and is feeling sad, or if they did it together. But I'm gonna say that she's maybe like a little more skilled at summoning than our protagonist. It's a confusing statement. I too would be filled with grief over my own death.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's, you know, over the moon about it.
I think this has something to do with summoning. They're summoning spirits or demons or something that have died. Spirits, maybe, I guess, then. People that have died and they've been corrupted by grief from their own, like, thinking about their own deaths. And, like, they're like some sort of specific kind of spirit that's trapped here, and you can summon them to, like, fight.
Okay. And also just want to note that that's Lulu saying that, so she's
Lulu.
on the so she's in the gang now.
Okay, I'm gonna say that they're called Grievers.
Grievers, okay.
Yeah,
so
those are like the monsters, yeah.
We're diving into the lore now.
Yeah. I think that might be the boob girl from earlier doing something. It's hard to tell, but it looks like they're in front of a big building there. I'm trying to see what maybe it's some sort of a market at the docks, saying if this is that girl, like she's sort of a floater, like she's shown up and is doing some cool tricks, and maybe is like, you know, shown up to help, but maybe her motivations aren't so obvious or something like that. I don't like this guy very much. I don't really know what else.
Yeah, what about that statement makes you not like him?
I feel like he's like he's kind of coming out to me as like a religious fundamentalist.
Is he being a bit pushy with his beliefs, do you think?
Yeah, I think he might be. I think he's trying to convert everybody in the crew. Like, I think he's the kind of guy that, like, we're just trying to like have a talk about, like, you know, something mundane, and he's like, oh, but this is the greatest sin, you know, like, it's like, come on, man. We're just trying to talk about animal crackers.
Great plug for the podcast.
Yeah,
right
if you want to hear us talk about animal crackers for a full 30 unbroken minutes,
way too long.
Check out our podcast, GameLuster. This is sports ball.
Sports ball.
I think it's called Blitz, what I saw earlier, but I guess you play Blitz in the game as part of like a mini game. Oh, now there's a friend. This is giving me a real Star Wars pod racing vibe.
You know what? That does actually look like the setting of episode 2, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I get episode 2 vibes from this.
So that creature there it looks like everyone's rushing. And maybe this creature is the cause of that. Yeah, it looks like they're running away from it. I don't know what that thing is, but I mean, I think it's on some sort of a rampage, and I think it was sent in to disrupt sports ball. I think the bad guys sent it in there to disrupt the game for some reason.
And do you want to make a guess as to why they wanted to interrupt sports ball?
I think if Tidus wins the sports ball tournament, like becomes number 1, then he will get some cool power or something.
So it's very important to the plot sport.
Yeah, I think it's extremely important. We've seen a lot of sports ball in this already. I'm gonna say that if he wins, then something really important is gonna happen. He gets access to some item that the bad guys need. Maybe one of the competitors in the sport is working for the bad guys. There's some sort of a trophy or some crystal. It's a crystal. I know it's a crystal. Obviously, it's
always is.
It's Ellie.
Oh my god, hi Ellie.
Yes, very good. I'm 99% sure she's about to knock something down. So if you hear that,
she is a cat. She can't help it. That's what they do. Just want to say, do you know who Big Sword Guy is here?
I don't actually, because the Big Sword Guy I saw earlier was not wearing a shirt, and this guy is wearing a lot of shirt. I'm gonna say this might be the Oren from earlier from the back. I can't really see, but he looks like he could have like a collar coming around half his head. Maybe he's there. Oh, maybe he's the president of Sportsball and he's rigging the whole thing.
Oh, okay. So he's like the head of FIFA.
Yeah, he's the. Well, I mean, then that did happen. So.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, there's the obvious bad guy from before. Like,
not at all.
Look at his fucking nails. Look how long they are, and they're both different colors.
They're claws. They are claws.
I don't know how much more of a bad guy he could be.
I mean,
he's got like tattoos of like some sort of creature on his chest or something. I don't know.
Tried my best to make him look good, but I mean, look at the hair. I mean, I didn't really stand a chance, did I?
If this guy showed up in Yu-Gi-Oh, everyone in that show would be like, "Whoa." That's how crazy his hair is. So he's here in the sports ball stadium and he's like, yes, I have done the thing. I brought the thing here. And, everyone's like, oh my god, he's ruining sports ball. Okay, that looks like some sort of a creature. Maybe that's a Griever. I think that might be one of them.
Okay.
And I think that your friend over here with the hair, Seymour, is like a summoner. And he summoned the Griever here to like fight, and I think maybe we're about to fight him. Now Tidus is like, hey, fuck you, like the Griever showed up and like maybe this creature and like they destroyed the sports ball game and like you're like, you let this happen, take responsibility, help me.
The sanctity of the game is at risk here.
It is. This makes me feel like Tidus is definitely like an orphan, or at the very least he never met his dad, kind of a thing.
Okay, so we've got daddy issues going on here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's Final Fantasy too, so yeah. I mean, so this is like a very religious kind of a thing. Like, we defeated the concept of sin.
Yes, sin is no more.
So nobody has sinned in 10 years, in any way.
Very, very pure. Very
pure. Very pure society. A very sort of a Puritan Scarlet Letter kind of society here. Mm-hmm. Jack, Nebraska, and I don't know who those people are. I'm thinking one of those guys is maybe his dad. They were like, oh, we used to run together and we were like the trio and we defeated the concept, the abstract concept of sin. And
just
now,
an average night out, the lads, we defeated sin.
And then we ended up at Spoons afterwards. I'm gonna have to say Sin is a person, I think. I think Sin is maybe the name of the big bad guy for this one. Mm-hmm. And I think it's like Pain from Naruto. We're back on Naruto. I think Jecht is the main character, Tidus' father. Mm-hmm. And I think he's become the bad guy. So this is a lot of this is telling me this is just Naruto.
This, if you've not heard of Final Fantasy X, this is usually the scene that people know.
Oh, okay. I'm guessing that they're not about to catch grapes in their mouths. Mm-hmm. It seems like they don't know he's evil, or
somehow.
Yeah, somehow they've looked at this guy and been like, "I'm okay with this. I'd let him watch my children for an afternoon." And he's like, "I have some important news to deliver." I want him to talk like that, like in such an evil way, like, "I have important news to deliver."
Just to really hone in how stupid they all are. How stupid they all are for not realizing that he's... Yeah.
Okay, so I'm feeling good about my earlier prediction here.
Yeah, that's pretty much confirmed.
That Sin is like the big bad guy for this game, and Jecht, who is Tidus' father, is that guy. I'm gonna say his name is Argus.
Argus.
And he's a
Strong
friend.
name.
I think he's a good guy.
He's a friend. Okay, so
I think
Argus is a friend.
I think we've had to summon him to help us fight.
Do you know what we're fighting yet?
We're gonna fight Sin, and I think Sin is maybe doing some summoning. I've heard a lot about summoning. I think he's gonna summon an army of Grievers, and this is sort of our thing we're gonna do is summon Argus over here to help us fight.
It's all coming together.
I want somebody to ride him. Damn the Albed. Okay, so the Albed, I guess, are a race of people, and maybe, you know what? I think he is a racist.
Yeah, so we're bringing it back to the racism.
Yeah, I think he's a religious fundamentalist and a racist.
Who they, for some reason, keep around.
Yeah, like, it seems like he might not be welcome in the rest of the party, but the Albed, yeah, like, I can't see what else that could be besides, like, either a race of magical creatures or something, or like, you know, humanoid people or something, but yeah, I'm locking in racist for this guy. So they're just meeting for the first time? Oh my god. Destruction created from the thoughts of the dead that wander the...
Far plane. So yeah,
okay, I was gonna say Everglades.
Also, of course, our friend Beaker's back here.
I think Beaker's afraid right now. Her hand is very thin. Just compared to the rest of her body. Seymour is looking even more menacing than before somehow. I think maybe now he's finally revealed he's a bad guy very openly.
I mean, to us, he sort of revealed that in the first frame you saw him, so...
Yeah, I think maybe the characters know now, and he's like, look at my evil plan. Like, but I think what he's doing is like, look at how good my evil plan is, right? Like, he's saying, like, I'm really the good guy, you know? I think that's where he's going. Like, I'm really the good guy. Look at this sphere. This is like what we could have, or something like that. You know?
Oh, this is his Thanos speech.
Yeah, this is like exactly. Yeah, I like the guy with the sunglasses there. He's really vibing.
I just want to say he is not even a character of interest. They just have this NPC who's just looking insanely cool.
1,000 years ago, some big destructive event happened, and we lost a lot of people, a lot of stuff, technology, research, whatever, and. Seymour is like, I'm going to bring back what it was like 1,000 years ago.
With sunglasses, dude. He's gonna bring that back.
The sunglasses guy's
bringing back sunglasses.
Yeah. So I think that, like, he's recreated the sphere, and he's like, if I do my evil plan, if you let me do my evil plan, we can get back all the stuff we lost 1,000 years ago. So let me do it. I'm thinking that she's like, he asked me to marry him. And, like, I think that's his, like, weird, sick exchange for, like, I won't kill your friends if you marry me. And, like,
he's that kind of guy.
My queen.
Oh, yeah.
You know, one of those. I've seen those.
One of those types.
Yeah. I can't say that Seymour has struck me as particularly feminist up to this point, so. And I think every time you commit a crime or you commit a sin, he becomes stronger, just conceptually. Ooh. So we all have to be pure. Everyone 8 inches apart at all times, you know, and that kind of stuff. He's the bad guy. So this is sort of a Han shot first situation, I'm guessing. This to me, I'm getting the vibe of like, this is the meeting we all have before we head to the final confrontation, you know?
Okay, so we're coming back full circle.
We're trying to make a plan, yeah.
Okay.
Even after she found out he's the bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she's just not very picky.
No, I guess not. You can do better, girl.
Look how not bad he's looking.
What did they do to my boy? Like I said, I think he's like the more front-facing bad guy, and Sin is just kind of out there in the fucking wind. Yuna doesn't look particularly jazzed about it.
Not a blushing bride right now, has to be said.
Not quite. I don't know. I still don't know why he needs to marry her. Like, maybe she has the crystal.
She has the crystal. She has the sports ball crystal.
She has the sports ball crystal. I don't know. Maybe she's the heir to something, or. But I get the sense that Seymour is some sort of nobility, or you know, authoritarian position. Okay, great. So this is pretty obvious. With the whole squad is here. We've managed to rescue Yunif before the wedding happened, before the marriage happened. We're trying to break it out of the palace with her, right? And the guards, this is the part where the guards have got us, and like Seymour's about to like walk up and be like, "So I finally got you," you know?
Yeah, that point. Okay.
Okay. That seems like a big jump. Maybe he did. Maybe they killed Seymour already. There are some crystals here. I see some crystals.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
This is the sphere. They're inside the sphere that he was talking about earlier. The perfect world sphere where the thing 1,000 years ago didn't happen.
Yeah.
And he's like, they're all just dreams of people. You and your father, your mother, everyone, all dreams. Okay, so this is Kingdom Hearts. None of these characters we played as were ever real. Okay, so we've caught up to the present. The frame that this is like the framing device. So we had our big battle before, but I think now we're coming up on the real climax of the whole story as a unit. And this is the group trying to figure out like what do we do next? Like we have to do something very drastic. Is this the right thing to do? You know? Is that a butt?
That is a butt. Yep.
Okay.
That is an almost hidden butt.
Yeah.
Like just enough that the hair parts in such a way that you can see the cheeks.
Just enough to avoid that M rating. Maybe now we're a summoner. We finally did it. Like, Tidus has finally gotten his summoning certificate. And she's like the one who grants him the title or whatever,
Okay, so he was a bit behind Yuna, but he got that.
I think so. I think he failed the tuning exams the first time. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty fucking standard JRPG fare. Like, you have to... The end of the world is coming, and the only way to stop it is for you to die through some crazy mechanism. Yeah. I ain't getting any younger, so I might as well make myself useful. So that's his dad. That's Tidus' dad. I think that his body has been used by Sin to become some sort of evil, lord or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think the real Jecht is like still there somewhere conceptually in a dream or whatever.
Oh, he's still got his consciousness.
Yeah, he's still in there or whatever. And this is him trying to break out. And so he's like, I'm gonna, I think he's gonna do something to help them take down Sin from the inside, while they're fighting him.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're sticking with bad guy.
I think he's definitely a bad guy. Die and be free of pain, or live and fight your sorrow. Again, not something you traditionally hear from the good guys.
You don't think there's a bit of inspiration in that quote? Live, fight that sorrow, or is he like?
No, he's like die. I'm hearing like die and be free of your pain. I can't get a read on this guy. His hair also makes him look like he's like intelligent, though. I think he's like a smart scientist man.
He is a bit of an enigma, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's quite hard to place.
Can't figure it out. My son in Xanarkand, he's such a crybaby. Oh, okay, so Tidus is really good at crying. He's just a sad boy. Is that Jack Sparrow?
He does look a lot like him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
God.
Okay, so we've defeated Seymour, I'm guessing. No!
Oh my god, I really can't wait for you to hear his voice.
Okay, there's Jecht again, doing some sort of praying mantis style kung fu there. I don't really, I guess he's absorbing something, or maybe this is what he's doing to destroy Sin. He's like gonna explode himself in some way. I think this is a sentimental I hate you dad, like we were just reunited and like you're gonna like kill yourself basically to save everybody, and he's like crying. He's like, I hate you. Like, why he
is being a crybaby though.
He is a crybaby, that was right. Possessed by you, Yevon. An exclamation point is an interesting punctuation choice. This is the end of the game where we kill God, right?
This is the kill God. We are at the kill God.
Okay, I mean, I see 3 party members here, and I think this is like, actually, this looks pretty similar to the end of Persona 5, honestly, when you also kill God. So, yeah, I'm gonna lock that in. Goodbye! I think he's yelling to his dad.
Okay.
I think his dad is fading away, right? He's like, don't forget me. He like fades away, right? Simba.
Okay. So
maybe his dad never existed, so he never existed, and he's fading away.
So there's some sort of time paradox going on here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think he faded out of existence and he appeared in the sky here, and he's like falling. Like, whoa!
He's got a Sonic voice now. God, I love it. Oh yeah, this is happening.
Yeah. No in-flight movie or snacks. I'm out of here. Okay, so Sin is finally dead. Great. I think Sin was the when we killed God, like that. I mean, Sin, like as a concept, is pretty much a deity. That makes sense.
Okay, and I think this is the final frame of the game. I think it's the final screenshot I got.
Really? Okay, so Tidus is just lost to the void, I guess. He's in the Farscape now.
He is. Okay, so he's in the Farscape.
I think he's here for the rest of eternity. Sad.
Oh, so that's how the game ends. He's just.
You said it was the final frame, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that is it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, he just floats in the void for the rest of eternity.
And that's how Square ended the game. He's just gonna.
Well, they did make a second game, didn't they? So.
They did, but I haven't played that, so let's forget that.
I think in the sequel he comes back.
That's right. Final Fantasy X. What did you think about it?
I think it was a fascinating story. How much of that, like on a scale of 1 to 10, do you think I got?
You know what's funny? That is easily, hands down, the most accurate episode we've had yet. I would honestly, I can't give it below a 5 out of 10. I want to say 6 out of 10, to be honest. Maybe even a 7. I'll have to like reflect on it. But you were very, very bang on there. That's
I think I've just seen a lot of anime.
You got a lot of it right. The main thing you got wrong was that Auron, he is a good guy throughout the entire game.
Really?
He is one of the gang. I will just quickly retell the story. Okay, so this is a sports ball. Sports ball is very important. It's called Blitzball. It's very important. It's not so much important to the story. It's just Tidus' character. So he lives in Zanarkand. You're introduced to that at the beginning.
Yeah.
And he is a pro Blitzball player, and you find out that his father Jecht, who doesn't live with him anymore, and it is shown that he has a strained relationship with him, was also a master Blitzball player, and Tidus has all this pressure to.
So he does have daddy issues.
He does have major daddy issues. Like he's always introduced as the Jecht's son, you know, so he's got a lot to live up to. Who is an Albed? That's why she's saying you're not an Albed hater, are you? She is part of a species called the Albed.
So are they not human?
They are human. I think they're just a group of people. Like I think it's more of a cult. It's like
so it is a race thing.
It is. They have different color eyes, which is no. They have like a certain color eyes, and Yuna is half Albed, which is why she's got the different color eyes going on. But Riku is full Albed.
Okay.
Anyway, so he finds Riku first. Tidus doesn't know anyone before the plot of the game. Okay. He is not aware of any of these characters.
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
Yeah, so the only other thing you got wrong was that Tidus and Yuna are like childhood best friends, but that was such a minor thing to get wrong, so yeah.
Okay.
So he washes up on this Albed ship, he's like, what the fuck? And then he explains what happened to Zanarkand. They're like, what the fuck, Zanarkand? That's just rubble. And she's like, yeah, that place exploded 1,000 years ago. And he's like, what? That just happened 2 days ago. What the fuck? And everyone thinks that he's on drugs or something, essentially, for the whole game. He gets into a fight and then washes up and meets Waka, because Waka's into sports ball as well. It's of all the things that survived, Blitzball survived. So they bond over that. And oh my god, you are so right about Waka. He is very religious and he is very racist.
Wow.
It sounded very memey the way you were putting it, but you were so right. But he, as part of his personal story, learns to not be racist, which is nice.
I guess that's good.
Yeah.
There's I'm always reminded of this Onion article I very love, the headline of which is friend who used to hate gay people doesn't anymore, but it's still pretty weird that he used to.
That is a very good way to sum up Waka, because the whole reason he hates the Albed is because, I mean, the world of Spira is very religious, because they have this thing called Sin, which is a physical enemy, as you correctly guessed. And Sin comes back in waves, I think it's like every 10 years or something. And a summoner has to sacrifice themselves and someone else to defeat Sin.
3 hours later.
And that's why god hates us.
Wow.
Okay, so you were really right with the Grievers, is that what you called them?
Yeah.
And they are just the souls of dead people that are like, I don't want to be dead, this sucks. And the only way to not make them fiends is for a summoner to dance like that. If people die, Yuna has to do a dance, and then they get sent away to go be in heaven.
So every time somebody dies, a summoner has to dance over their body.
Yep, exactly that. Otherwise, they come back and they're assholes.
Wow.
Sin.
Oh, so those
everything.
are the Grievers? That thing?
Yeah, that's. I'm pretty sure that's a Griever. Or like, it's like a Griever who's infected a monster and just
Okay.
made it. And at this point, so you very correctly, I couldn't even be bothered to try and counter your assumption that Seymour is evil, because he is indeed evil. But you only find out about halfway through the game, even though everyone knows it, because
Yeah.
look at him.
Look at him.
He summons that monster to save everyone, and he does, and
Okay.
everyone loves him.
So he is the Pope.
He is the Pope, yes, he is the Pope. Yeah, and then he's like, oh yeah, just to pile it on, I know you've had a wacky few days, but by the way, that dad that you hate that ran away when you were a kid, he is also Sin. The big monster I have sent you here to defeat, to go 1,000 years in the future to defeat Sin with Auron, and they did that, but then in the process, Jecht became the new Sin.
Oh, so he's Davy Jones.
Yes, it is, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Sin is Jecht. This is the laughing scene.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard the Tidus laugh before?
I haven't.
It's quite a sweet scene in context, because essentially Tidus and Yuna are just like, they're pretty doomer right now. They're just like, oh, we've got to defeat Sin. Sin's my dad. That sucks. So they're just like, how about we just force ourselves to laugh? And they, yeah, and it's actually worse than that. They just insanely force laugh, but it's actually really sweet. Yeah, and that's just their way of like, hey, let's try to be happy. Yeah, Seymour rocks up. He's like, we need to defeat Sin, guys. Sucks. That's Sin. That's not Sin. That's Sin. That's Tidus' dad right there.
I don't even see a dad in there.
Yeah, this is Seymour still somehow pretending to be a good guy. He takes them to see the Far Plane. That's what it's called. Yeah. Yeah. And he's just having his like magic carpet moment with Yuna, like, I can show you the world. Yeah, and then he's like, Yuna, marry me. And I know you couldn't really figure out why, because there really wasn't a way to show it in screenshots why. He's just like, everyone's super bummed out about the apocalypse coming, and I think it would make everyone really happy if we got married. That's his argument. Let's just stop fighting the apocalypse so we can have a royal wedding. And Yuna goes along with it because she wants to make everyone happy.
Yeah. People pleaser.
Yeah, that's the first time they fight Seymour. They're like, this guy's acting a bit shady. He's sort of trying to distance Yuna from her friends, so he attacks them.
Ooh. And
they fight him, but then everyone's like, you killed the really nice Pope, who's never done anything wrong. He looks like a wholesome guy, and you just killed him.
He would never kill the world 1,000 years ago.
She's like, oh, this guy seems bad. I don't like him anymore.
He's the space Pope, yeah.
He is the space Pope. Yeah, there's them being captured for trying to save Yuna, and then they escape. And they have the romantic scene of like, hey, we fancy
each other. The thing that's striking me as the most unbelievable is the motivation for them to take Yuna like that and like make her get married to him. Like, yeah. I'm not drawing the connection between that and the whole Sin thing that's going on.
I think it's, well, you know, so Seymour, I'm trying to remember what his motivation was. I mean, he is just a bad guy. You fight him 3 times in the game, and you do actually kill him every time.
Oh my god!
So the marriage thing was sort of a distraction. He was sort of just trying to stop them.
My favorite kind of marriage.
The people, they're all dreams. Yeah, it's him finding out that the world that he knew was a dream.
Right.
And here it is suggested, and then later confirmed, that Tidus himself is a dream. Very, very. Even if that's not even Final Fantasy, that's straight up Kingdom Hearts. Tidus is a dream. Yep, they're meeting a deity right now, Untitled. They think that she's going to give them the power to defeat Sin. But that's when she's like, okay, you need to defeat Sin, so you need to sacrifice someone, and I think Tidus volunteers for that. And then she just confirmed, yep, you knew you're going to die too. And then they're like, okay, so this will defeat Sin forever, yeah? And she's like, nah, he'll come back. And they're like, what? That's a bit of a rip-off, isn't it? Like, 2 of us are going to have to die. And then they get this flashback to Jack when he was defeating Sin, deciding to sacrifice himself to defeat Sin. That's a flashback. That's Seymour finally getting sent off.
He did it.
Yeah, they did it. That's them. They've met up with Jack at this point, who is Sin, and they have their final goodbye. Yeah, Tida's saying, I hate you, Dad, in a sort of conflicted way of like, you were a prick, but you saved everyone. That's God. That is God this whole time. He is he's a spider crab dude.
Little guy, huh?
Yeah, he's very small. Very small. Goodbye. Yep, that's him realizing that he's now has. Yeah, he's a dream. And then he's like, oh, I'm a dream. I'm gonna jump now. And he fades away. And she does her speech of Sin's dead. We did it, gang.
Saved the day.
But then there's a post-credits scene where you see, Tidus is still knocking about.
So is he floating in the void right now?
He is floating in the void.
So he just like looks up at the screen and is like, and then it just blacks out.
Well, actually, the last thing you see is him swimming up, but through the void, and then it's very sequel based. It's very much now by 10-2.
Yeah, let me just jump into that one.
That was a lot to get through.
This has been so long. We've been here for like an hour and a half. I'm gonna cut it down anyway. So I want to try to. I was trying to keep these at like 45 minutes, but that's like half of this. So I don't know. No more JRPGs.
No, Western only. We're only doing Western games now.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna digest this for a while, but I'll try to edit this in the next few days, but we'll see how it goes.